And hello and welcome back to the 8th episode of the Seemingly Unknown. 8 episodes. We're almost
Holy
to the
crap.
We're almost to double digits in the episodes, and people are still here, and more people are here. Actually, we're getting more listeners as we go. We've got a couple hits on sponsors, which is very strange. And here we are, episode 8. I am once again in a different location. You guys are always in the same spot. Actually, yeah, you guys are always in the same spot. I am in a different location. I feel like every couple of weeks, and next week I will be in another different location. But here we are.
Quick question, Zach. Did you go to the local guitar center to decorate the house, or the actual?
I actually got all this off Amazon.
Sweet.
Is a Squire? What is that? Just a Squire Telecaster?
Actually,
It's what, $150?
that is a Squire. That's my son. Okay, my son's guitar because it's a mini one. The rest of them aren't Squires. They're all Fenders. Shout out to Billy Siegel from Fender, by the way.
When are we stealing the guitar? Jeff Fahey, Christ, the Jeff Buckley guitar that Matt from Muse bought. That
he bought out from under me that I tried to buy.
We need to steal that guitar.
Yeah, I agree.
Buckley's one of the coolest guitar players ever. One of the coolest humans in general. Like that's one of my favorite bands.
I was a Jeff Buckley fan. A funny story, not to get into stories right away, especially depressing ones. So Matt Healy and I, when Jeff Buckley died, he was living in Memphis, recording a lot with the producer that I had ended up doing my first 2 records with, John Hampton. And he would play every Wednesday night at this place called Barristers, which ended up being a place called The Last Place on Earth. But Matt and I were actually at his last show the night that he decided to go swimming in the Mississippi River. And it was just a strange, surreal thing. So I wanted to buy that guitar when we were in Paris because I just thought it would have been cool to have it in Memphis. And I offered him a very, very, very large sum of money for it. And he's like, "Oh, I can't sell it." And I'm like, "Well, that sucks." And then I find out a couple months later, he ended up selling it to Matt from Muse. And I was like,
who probably already had it bought. It was just
he already had it bought. They just couldn't tell us about it. It wasn't really Matt. It wasn't really Matt from Matt's Guitar Shop's fault, but I was still like upset. I remember texting him like as soon as I woke up because it was like all over Instagram, all over Twitter. Yep. And I was like, "Dude, what the?" And he was like, "Man, it was already sold when you played it." And I was like, I really wanted it. So anyway, Matt and I were at Jeff Buckley's last performance hours before he died. And so we are here again. We've set up an email address now that we will discuss later, that you can send your life advice and fan mail and questions to. I'm out of Los Angeles. It's been good. Paul, what did you do this weekend? This is the weekend report.
This is a weekend report. Baseball is back in full swing. No pun intended. And I am in heaven.
No peanuts.
So I've been no goddamn peanuts, even in my own house. So I've been watching a lot of baseball. I finally started picking up tips on John doing yard work before it gets to be 120 degrees.
Do you have yards in Arizona?
It's weird. We just move the rocks back and forth.
Yeah,
and call it yard
it's
work.
more a barren wasteland.
We water a cactus or two and then we move a rock around.
No, that's remodeling
landscaping in Arizona.
We're remodeling the pool, so we put in a new waterfall and putting up a bunch of shade and all that stuff.
You have a pool?
Yeah.
Damn, dude. What does Paul do for a living, bro? Paul's living large.
I don't tour anymore, so it's weird.
For now.
For now. Careful. Zach, what did you do? You're not in LA.
I'm not in LA. I'm at the Wisconsin house right now. As you can see, there's toys behind me that I didn't get rid of.
Real quick before you go on. So you have 2 houses. Are you sitting on the floor though?
I'm sitting on the floor.
2 houses, no desk or chair.
This is my little
weird.
Desk. So this is my guitar room. This is my guitar room in the Wisconsin house. There's a chair right here. There was no way for me to like be in a chair and like be able to see you guys at eye level. I like to be able to look at you. So my camera's here. You guys are right here. So I like to be able to
This guy has no chair. He can't afford a chair, but he has Buddy Holly's guitar on the wall next to him. And
in his second house.
This kid's over here in the corner doing origami.
I actually have 3 houses. My brother rents one. One's like a rental property that I own. But yeah, this is the Wisconsin house. A lot more quaint and, smaller, a lot more humble than the other house.
In that house?
In this house. But so, yeah, I couldn't, there was no way to like do it and like be not sitting on the floor, I guess. I have a dining room, but then my kids are going to come in at some point, and then this podcast takes a whole new turn.
They're gonna eat that duck meat. Hey, you got your son a bunny rabbit too this year.
I flew home Wednesday for my son's birthday. I told both my kids when they were younger, if I'm not in Europe, I'll never miss a birthday, whether they come to me or whatever. So flew home Wednesday. I took the red eye out of LA. We'll go into that more later. Took the red eye out of LA Tuesday. Yikes. Got here for like 22 hours. Bought my son a bunny rabbit, which is now named Snuggles the baby bunny. It's a real name. And yeah, he loves it. He's in heaven. I actually kind of like it too. I've never had a rabbit before. I'm kind of digging it, but
not that kind of rabbit though.
Not that kind of rabbit. And then no, not that. Yeah, mine takes batteries. It's a whole different.
Can we? With that being said, can we get sponsored by like women's sexual toys?
Oh my god, I would love
yes. That'd be so
I would love a sex toy sponsorship. That would be great. Oh, by the way,
Zach, sorry.
right before I left the family gathering, which I'm a Christian and my wife's a Christian, but her family even more so. Like they don't really like listening to podcasts like this per se. And my sister-in-law goes, "So what is this that seemingly unknown thing?" I was like, "Oh, it's a podcast." And my littlest sister-in-law had asked about it before. And I was like, we just talk about random stuff. Today she goes, "What are you ranting about today?" She still hasn't listened to it. And I go, "Oh," and I read her kind of like what I had written down. I was like, I probably won't even get to half this. And then my other sister-in-law was like, "Oh, it's a podcast." She's like, "I need to listen to it." I'm like, "No, you don't." I'm like, "You don't." I'm like, no one in my family needs to listen to it on either side.
Correct.
So, the weekend was good though. I finished up in LA. We have, a literal gaggle of songs written for the next Shinedown record. And, it was good being in a room with Eric and Brent and Dave, and everything was good. The weekend was good. I got home today to Wisconsin. So,
all right.
John, yard work, probably, I'm guessing.
A little, like some sticks fell, but I actually shot
sticks fall from.
A stick falls, he goes and grabs
the tree. A lot of the trees here are from like the house is from 1870, so Civil War era. There's some huge trees here, but when the branches fall, it's like a little tree. But I did some of that. I shot some hoops on the basketball court. I watched a Friday night. I watched the movie Tears of the Sun, Bruce Willis movie.
Yeah,
dude. And I'm not ashamed to admit this, but I cried that movie, and I forgot I do. But the one part, dude, I literally started bawling. And I'm just like, dude, I'm such a bitch. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm proud to be an American and support these fine soldiers in their quest to eradicate evil. I
cried in movies.
Yeah, but I was just like, dude, like, where? It's just funny how like certain movies where. Or like you get lost on TikTok, and every time someone shares like a reaction video to the Avengers, that last scene when they all come to the teleportal, every time when the Captain or Falcon flies through or Black Panther walks through, I still get chills. And so that's why
it's very cool.
I did like kind of like this deep dive.
You said that? That's the last movie I cried in. I'll buy you all the cheeseburgers, kid. Fucking lost it.
Yeah.
Love you
for sure.
Love you. I like when he was talking about, he's like, my dad likes cheeseburgers. He's like, I'll buy you all the cheeseburgers.
Because it takes you back to the first episode.
My arm is covered
first
with chills. Yeah. And it's like, dude, it's just like, so I remember like, I was in the theater, like not ready for that. And then when that line happened and I was like, just, it was so brutal. But Brent always tells the story that we went to go see one of them. I don't think it was the last one. It might've been the one before. And people always stand up and clap. And literally one time I think I was just having like a weird day, but everyone stood up and clapped and I go, nerds. Just said it like out loud. I was like, what are they? You think they're going to like walk out and be like, thank you so much for the applause. Thank you. Like, they're not here. What are you clapping for?
They turn around. They're actually in Wakanda. They're like,
fucking dweebs, man. Dweebs, dude. And I love those movies, but like, I don't like, what are we clapping for?
Yeah, no, you're right.
And on Saturday, and this is going to take a turn.
That was just Friday.
That was just Friday.
No, this
Shot
is gonna,
hoops, yard work.
For the people that love when I bring up something completely random, this is going to take the cake. So
can I quickly say though that
this is going to take the cake?
I'm scared to death. Do we need a lawyer for this podcast?
This is all.
I feel like though, here's what I think people need to understand. This isn't you. I know people who are weird to be weird. This is how you are every day of your life. And I think people like think that like, like John's going to sit there and try to think of the most random thing he can say. No, this shit happens every day.
Yeah, no, I take notes now where I'm just like little sticky notes.
It's all over his house.
Last couple, I think 2 episodes ago, we're just like weird fetishes, like this weird stuff came up. So I did some research over a cup of coffee.
We did
on Saturday morning. It was yesterday. And did you know that there are people that have sexual relations with trees? There was a
romantic or sexual?
No, sex, like orgasm. There is a woman in the UK who went through a bad divorce that, for every reason, she says that her breasts were bare and her titties brushed against the bark of a tree, and she hugged the tree and she came to orgasm. And then after the second time she did it, she named the tree Tim. Now, this woman is legit. You guys can go to Google, type in UK woman, tree sex, named Tim. So I went down this whole thing where it's like, this has to be mental health. There's like, this has to be mental health. But then I'm like, dude, this is ecosexuality and all this stuff, man. There are literally people in this world, guy or girl, that will jump into a pile of leaves and start dry humping, or sucking off a weeping willow root, or humping, turning vegetables into fleshlights. Like, there's this whole underground thing, dude, where people are sexually attracted to plant life. It blew my mind.
Did he say turn vegetables into fleshlights?
Yes.
He did.
And today's episode is actually brought to you by Fleshlight. Fleshlights.com. You can get all your fleshlight needs. They have carrots, spaghetti squash fleshlights. You can get
rutabagas, gourds. Dude, I'm telling you, I was blown away because I'm like, where is it mental health issues, or this woman actually named the birch Tim? She sucks off this thing.
All right,
stop.
Listen. Now, this woman and Tim, it's weird that it doesn't even surprise me because there's so many weird fetishes. Was this a fetish? I mean, like,
ecosexuality is a real thing. I swear to God, dude. I went down a whole rabbit hole. Like,
I'm just saying, like, there's so many like different people are
Zach,
into so many,
look up ecosexuality. Like I didn't know if I was watching Swamp Thing or
oh my God,
or watching a porn with a bunch of people jumping in tomato plants and sunflowers. Like, dude, where are we? Where are we as a society that fetish is allowed to happen?
In the UK.
Yeah, dude. She named the thing Tim.
All right. Tim. 7 things you need to know about this sexual identity. Here we go. This is where we get canceled because we make fun of a lady who sticks a dandelion in her fucking butthole. that's what I identify as.
They don't call it tubes for nothing.
The main. Whoa. What is it? Yo.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude, it's
those photos, dude.
Yes, dude, you should see what they did with that root.
I don't want to read this out loud. This is okay. I don't understand that. I don't understand like what's.
I mean, I don't understand.
There's so many things in life I don't understand, but like, bruh, being like, yo, is that a ficus over there?
So
dude,
I mean,
I'm as wet as a damn slip and slide, son. When I see a damn ficus.
Yeah. Like, oh man, is that a lilac? Oh, it smells good.
I mean, so my question is if this is a real thing, like, what would be your guys' go-to?
Ooh.
Oh, I'm going for something pretty. Like I'm gonna go for like a
give me a fruit.
Crepe myrtle.
Give me a fruit. Each of you give me a fruit, a vegetable, and a deciduous like branching leaf type tree thing.
So you want them to be able to bring something to this relationship?
Well, so you're going like a fruit. You're like a fruit tree.
Yeah, give me something. Give me a tomato plant that you could be attracted to. Maybe a vegetable plant or a fruit plant, and then maybe just a regular tree. Like, what would you go towards?
I'm going towards a vegetable because vegetables are softer inside.
I regret asking you guys this.
Like a sea cucumber, like a English cucumber. Like, how big do you need the vegetable to be? You think?
What are we talking about here?
At least 8 inches.
Oh wow,
that's definitely a gourd.
Depends on how. Why are we?
I
Here's the
regret
thing.
asking.
Never in my life have I pictured my wiener in something that wasn't human until 35 seconds ago, and now I was just like thinking about like a tomato. And John does this. Like I'm like, this is
he puts you in these scenarios that you have to figure it out.
Yeah, but here, what's the messed up part? This is a real life thing. Like, but here, then you go back to look at American Pie, the movie where they did American Pie. Like in culture, pop culture, vegetables and fruit and all some weird fetishes. This woman took to a whole other level.
I don't want to stick my dick in a tree though, or a cactus.
You'd stick it into a pumpkin pie.
No, he wouldn't. Neither would I.
No, I've never thought like, damn, that pie looks so good. I want to fuck it.
Dude, also pies are hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can chill it.
Bruh. No, I don't want nothing to do with that. Ecosexuality.
Ecosexuality.
Everybody look it up. Since we're not going to read everything, look it up.
There's a photo in there I need to send JR because that's insane. Okay. Did you do anything else this weekend?
Yeah, besides think of this weird shit.
No, I mean, that kind of drained me emotionally.
Is there an app for this?
Yeah,
There's got to be an app.
Right.
Find trees near you.
So let me ask, how about this though? Do you think poison, when people have reactions to
rosebushes.only.com, there's an app for this for sure.
Rosebud. So when you
tinkle my berries,
oh my
God. Like poison ivy or sumac, like the rash, could that be like plant herpes then? Maybe?
You're so weird.
Nobody's ever asked these questions.
You're so weird.
Honest to God, you're probably the first person to ever say that out loud.
Well, I'm not. Hey,
you know what? You know what? I just thought of something. It really makes me question the people who listen to this podcast.
They have nothing.
There's like
better,
legitimate fans of this podcast, and they keep coming back every week for some reason. And I think it's because of what John says. And that's the thing. Yeah. That's why I put the caveat in the beginning. Like, I think people think of like, oh, John's going to like throw 9 words in a hat and draw them out and then like make some like, this is like, he'll ask this at dinner on a day off in Virginia Beach. Like that's just like out of nowhere.
And then we'll go find a tree. Like we
there's a lot of great trees in Virginia Beach. That's wild though to me.
Yeah, no, So I'm drawn towards weird stuff like that. Cause it's like these people are. It's like I've tried to understand their mental psyche. It's fascinating. It really is.
We try and figure out yours, and we can't figure it out.
Yeah, I've given up on that a long time ago.
But that's all I really did.
That's all I really did.
Zach, you flew this week.
I flew twice. That's
too much.
That's way too much, especially to go across the country twice. So Tuesday night, I took the red eye. I was literally in Wisconsin for 22 hours, flew right back to LA. So only missed one day of work. But I flew on Delta, which is my airline of choice. So as I'm getting, you get to the airport, there's the little dots you got to stand on when you check in. TSA. I got TSA pre, so I actually got through LAX pretty fast. I didn't check a bag. I literally was just in and out. You know what I'm saying? So get through and I go to board. I'm in first class. I go to board and they're like, sorry, you got to give the person some space. I'm like, come on, man. And so we get on the plane. And then like the same person is like way less than 6 feet from me. And then they're telling everybody this as every group boards are like, please remember space, blah, blah, blah. And so people are, you got to stand 6 feet apart and you don't get on a plane. Dude, you're 6 inches from someone's big head, just breathing their mouth, breathing air on you. Now, granted, Delta, here's why I like Delta. Okay. In Delta, I was in first class. No one was next to me. There was a guy behind me. There was a guy in front of me. No one was next to me. But they did the same stuff. It's like you got to stand. And even when you get off the plane, it's like, okay, well, wait till everyone grabs their luggage. We're gonna deboard in a socially distanced manner. I'm like, we're already here, man. We're already in a mouth breathing orgy in a tube where everyone's 6 inches from each other. And now you want to? Here's the thing. Here's what I don't understand. I don't understand the hypocrisy of it all. whatever you are, if you're anti-vax, if you're pro-vax, whatever you are, if you're, I always took coronavirus very seriously. I had coronavirus. I don't understand the hypocrisy of it. It's like, just do one thing or do the other. Mm-hmm. But like stand 6 feet apart so we can put you inches from each other on a plane. It didn't make any sense. So when I flew here today, well, I guess I left last night. I flew American. American doesn't give a fuck. They put everybody at a guy right next to me in first class. Same thing though. When you board, 6 feet apart when you board, stay up, and like you get on the plane, like some old dude was like literally is like, you coming or going? I'm like, I can smell your breath through your mask, but
wait, did that guy, was your penis out when he said that? Like, how does that?
Oh, there it is.
Why?
You just said it. You just made this old guy seem really creepy.
No, it kind of was.
No, you asking about him having his dick out made it creepy, John.
That made it creepy too. I honestly felt like he was gonna ask me to give up my seat because I was in first class. He was in first class, and I saw his wife walk by, we were on the plane. Of course, we had to be socially distanced getting on the plane, and then we're get on the plane and our damn noses are touching, and then. After that, 15, 20 people come on. His wife walked by and his wife was like, he was like, what seat are you in? She was like 36 something. And then I see him kind of glance over me and I'm like, hard fucking nah, dog. I'm like, I had a 5-hour flight, dude. I had to fly from Los Angeles to Philadelphia back to Milwaukee.
On a red eye.
On a red eye, dude. It was so lame. I did meet up with Brad Williams this morning in Philadelphia, though. He happened to be in Philly. He did some shows this weekend.
What was he wearing? Was he easy to find? Dude, I love that joke.
That was, dude, when I read that, I was like, that's fucking hilarious.
Even Kelly Bass sent me a direct message and was like, I laughed out loud at that joke. If you don't know my friend Brad Williams, he's a dwarf. He's a dwarf comic. And when he texted me this morning, by the way, the airport's almost empty. Like there's nobody there. And he goes, all right, I'm walking your way. And I said, well, let me know what you're wearing so I can find you. And he said, fuck you. And so I thought it was a great joke. It landed for sure. And then what led me to this is like, once all this stuff started happening, I don't understand. Again, it's all the hypocrisy of it. Like do one thing or don't, but like restaurant curfews.
I don't get it.
What does that make? What does that change anything?
Can coronavirus get you more after 10:30? Like I don't.
That's what it is.
I don't understand.
I think
coronavirus
it's because
is a night virus.
I think it's because I assume it's because when people are drinking, they're more apt to not listen or give a shit, or they start getting closer. Which on paper I get, but it's like the whole thing.
That actually makes sense though.
Okay, but what about the people that are just day drinking all day?
Yeah, they do the same thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's just
they could get drunk before 9:00.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? The whole curfew thing is just stupid. On like, we have to close by this time. Why?
Yeah,
if you're still at half capacity, what is the fucking difference between being open at 2:00 in the afternoon and being open at 11:00 at night?
So on April 1st, when I got back from Ollie's birthday, my car was taking me through PCH. The driver was like, everything opened back up on April 1st, I guess, for like indoor dining. Not like 100%, but like whatever it was. But when I was there, most places were 25% you could go in. Some of them you couldn't go in. It was kind of weird. Like you'd try to go into a place and it'd be like, nah, you take out only. But dude, there were lines out the doors, man. People were just like so happy to be outside. It was really nice. It was kind of like nice to see California because, the whole time I was there, I was just like, man, this place is so whack, dude. And then I remember, but we went to Mastro's. Me, Brad, and Chris Porter went to Mastro's last Sunday. On Passover when we recorded the podcast, and they were supposed to be, I guess, 25% capacity inside. This place was slammed. Dude, there were so many people. You could you felt illegal. You're like, oh
Like-
shit,
like
you
Prohibition
felt like-
era.
Yeah, like you felt like you were in like a party, like when you were
A
a teenager.
speakeasy? Like, yeah,
You're
don't know, yeah.
You're like, this shit's about to get busted out, dog. Like the cops are about to roll in it. The Malibu PD is about to run in here. David Hasselhoff's coming in. Everyone's coming in, dude. You just like felt like you were like doing something like illegal, bro. Like it was like, oh man, I like this. Right
You're
here.
a rebel. You guys were rebels.
I felt good. I was like eating butter cake, like looking over my shoulder. I was like, what is happening right now, dude? Cops is about to bust in here. It was exciting though.
I like
Kind of
that.
weird. You know,
Riveting, for sure.
This is my other plane gripe. What's up with with this guy? Yeah, I just got on the plane.
I want to shoot him in the face.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I got some food and I think I'm gonna hold on. I landed. Listen.
No one cares.
I've been in
That's
a
up
band.
there.
Listen, I've been in a band for 16 years with a man who doesn't have an inside voice. And even
You won't be named.
yeah, not Brent Smith.
Not
But even he has like a little bit of like public like couth. You know what I mean? Like
he
has
knows
a little bit.
he's aware.
Sometimes he's aware. But like when Brent, Brent, he just doesn't have there's no quiet Brent Smith. But it's not, for some reason when he does it to me, maybe it's because I've been so used to it for so long. It's not as obnoxious as like, yeah. I'm like, dude, are you talking louder on purpose?
Or
Right.
this one where people are FaceTiming, walking through the airport or whatever, and then they're still like talking, but they have their phone facing up and they're like trying to pay attention. I'm like, hang up your call. Like, hey, let me call
I've
you when I
seen
get back to my
people with-
hotel or whatever.
I've seen people with the headphones too do it, but this guy was like on speakerphone, had the person on speakerphone on the plane. I'm like, look, Dale,
Oh no.
dude, took his shoes off. I was like, I want to fucking take your sock and just wrap it around your neck and just fucking squeeze. Just
God
squeeze.
bless.
Dude, I don't understand. And then I was at Jersey Mike's the day before that. And the same dude, like the guy was just like ordering, like everyone's just like, yeah, I'll get a chicken Philly, whatever.
The same guy?
No, not the same.
I was like,
No
dude,
shoes on.
Yeah,
if
no
I run into
shoes.
that guy twice in
Talking
the world, it's meant for him to be murdered by me. That's just what that is. This is meant for murder. No, it's another guy, but it's like everyone in there, it's like quiet. They don't have any of their seats out. You can't eat in Jersey Mike's. This is California though. So it's like you could eat outside. There was stuff outside. So I like order my food. I'm like, yeah, I'll get a chicken Philly, no peppers, extra cheese, whatever. Next guy gets like, yeah, let me get a number 7 Mike's Way. And like, oh boy, just like, yeah. I'm like, motherfucker, they're right there. Yeah, I'm gonna let me get that Italian BMT.
Putting his hands all over the glass, just
oh.
like
let me get an Italian BMT.
And some pepperoncinis.
Yeah, extra lettuce, Mike's Way. Who is Mike? Like fucking shut up, you dummy. Why do you gotta yell, bro? No, everyone can hear you. You don't have to yell. I fucking hate that guy. I hate him.
It's like
fuck that guy. His
it's
name's
like
probably Brad.
It's like it's Brad Williams.
That's Brad Williams. That's fair
He's
though, because like
standing
he's trying to get his voice over the counter.
Well, he's standing at like 6 phone books. I think it's like some guys. I mean, very rarely do you hear a woman act like that in the public, but
Very
I think some
rarely.
guys have like
when you
this
do, her
very-
name's Karen.
Oh, it used to be Karen. Now she's a tree. So these guys will be very. Maybe it's the Napoleon syndrome meets kind of like this. They know they're not an alpha male, and so they try and astute their kind of dominance in like a public setting. And I find that those people are the biggest bitches.
They're always little
society.
guys.
I just
Little
hate
man
them,
syndrome.
dude. I hate them.
That's like Napoleon shit. Like no one like.
But why do you have to hear someone's like? I don't want someone outside me who's asking to borrow my outlet to know when I'm talking to my wife or my kids are sick, and this woman next to me is like, "Hey, can I borrow your charger?" Or, "Oh, you like Skittles? Shut the fuck!" You're just like, God bless, man.
Dude,
Hey, I hate them.
that's that those people are the worst though, man. It's like those people, and then like it's like. I equate those same people as to like the employees at certain fast food places when they like it's late at night and you can tell like they don't want to do anything. Like when they're just like milkshake machine's broken.
Every time it's fucking
Every
broken.
single time. Yo, my buddy Zach, we used to, if we were hanging out at night, he would go into one of those places. And if he had like a button up shirt on and kind of look like semi like that, maybe that's what he was there to do. He'd go, yeah, I'm here to fix the milkshake machine.
Stop.
And they were like, is something wrong with the milkshake machine? I'd be like, no. And he's like, oh, cool. Give me a fucking milkshake.
Let's go back.
Time.
Do you have any friends not named Zach?
Yeah, I got a friend named Chris and a friend named JR, and then you and Paul. Kent.
I look at every story there's always a Chris
Zach.
or a Zach involved.
Yeah, always.
Dude, when there's a get together at my house or in Memphis, like with our friend group in Memphis,
All Zachs and Chris's.
everyone's named Zach. There's a Sean, there's a JR, and there's a Chris. That's it. There's a Jacob, but he's related to my buddy Zach.
Oh, jeez.
That's it, dude. That's it. We're there. I think if everyone's ever been all together, there's like 6 or 7 Zachs, and JR's brother's name is Zach.
What's JR
That's
stand
stupid.
for? Is it just JR or is it like something
Justin
else?
Robert.
Justin. Yeah.
Got you. Like the announcer.
Junior.
JR. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Justin Robert. Not Justin Roberts. You're thinking of Justin Roberts.
Oh.
Justin Robert Moore. He's gonna put some dumb shit. By the way, his editing last week. Shout out to JR for that.
And the week before with the Don Headley was amazing.
The Don Headley was good. I tell you what I didn't appreciate is when I did the Chewbacca orgasm and he left my real voice in there. I was not okay with that.
Your teeth have been the talk of the town though this last week.
I know my dentist has been texting me. She's like, yo, I'm getting so many weird followers now. Because I was like, yeah, that's my bad. I apologize.
It's weird how I found that picture.
Of me and the dentist. Oh, dude. And then I tagged her in it, and then she commented on it, which was like, she was like, oh, yeah, at least your legs don't hang off the chair like some of the other kids. So I was like,
God bless.
thank you very much. All right, Justin, I got to tell the story real quick. Justin wanted me to tell it. He was doing his Monday night concert series, and he goes, you got to tell the egg story. So this is the last food. This will be the last food thing. But so Matt and Zach Mack and I were doing a Alan Mac Myers Moore tour, and we went to a Waffle House, and I like my eggs scrambled soft. Do you guys know what that means or how to do that?
I
like scrambled.
They're still kind of ruddy, right?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
scrambled
okay.
soft.
Yep.
So we go to a Waffle House somewhere. I would be lying if I told you where it was. So we go to a Waffle House.
Now, are these like regular eggs or like ovary eggs or ostrich eggs? Like, what are we doing here? Like chicken eggs? Well, your kids eat ducks. Dude, I don't know if you guys eat ostrich.
We're at Waffle House,
We're
bro.
at Waffle House, bro.
Oh, sorry.
So go in, and I'm like, so they order, and I always get the All-Star Special, which is like comes with like a waffle, bacon, whatever. So I'm like, I want the All-Star Special. I'm like, can I get bacon crispy, waffle, white toast, hash browns, egg scrambled soft? And I was the last one to go. And you hear the dude be like, okay, and write it down. And then, they yell the order out. That's the big thing. Like 2 eggs over, blah, blah. So they yell we're the only people in here, by the way. Yeah. The old boy yells the order out to the other old boy who's right there. He could have just handed it to him. It's like, we don't need the show, man. It's like it's like when you go to hibachi and you just want to eat. Like, I don't need the fucking onion thing. Just I'm hungry. Give me some mustard sauce. Let's get out of here. Double rice.
It's Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran needs some scrambled eggs.
So Sheeran, party of 3. So we go. So we the guy's doing the thing for no reason. It's empty. He's like, All-Star, blah, blah, and he goes, eggs scrambled soft. Like when they say it, but it has a question mark on it.
Yeah, he didn't know what it meant.
So and then the chef goes, okay, whatever. Eat, get my food, realize the eggs are as hard as this fucking table right here when they come out. As I'm leaving, I kind of had like a memory lapse. I remembered what was happening while we were discussing. He goes, okay, I'll do what I can or whatever. And I remember I didn't get it until after we had already left. And Matt saw it too. The guy had a bowl and he was like like really like softly and gently trying to scramble trying to scramble the eggs. Had no clue what he meant. Like, I think he thought like, hey, listen, I eat eggs, but I care about how these dead chicken eggs are right. You know, I want them to be, don't be rude to them.
Yeah, don't beat the shit out of him.
So he's like
softly.
Right.
He's just, I remember, like we were, because how it happened was we were walking out, weren't even out the door yet. I busted out laughing. No one said anything. I just started laughing. You didn't
have to, yeah.
Dude, and then they were like, what? And I'm like, I'll tell you when we get outside. And I remembered him just being like,
soft.
I can't whistle, but yeah, you know, just like softly like scrambling the eggs. I'm like, oh my God, dude, he didn't know what. First off, secondly, if you work at a restaurant where like your main gig has something to do with eggs, most likely, you should probably like learn all the shit of like how people like their eggs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not.
It's at Waffle, dude. Hold on, time out. You're at Waffle House.
Yeah, you're right. Well, those guys are about to make 15 an hour, bro. So they need to learn. They need to learn some scrambled soft.
So yesterday, while Paul and I were on live on the CBD Unknown Instagram, we were talking about if you were in an orgy with a bunch of professional wrestlers. Well, Zach, you threw out this story of Rhino the Man Beast fighting ZZ Top crew members. I need to hear this.
Yes. I don't know if I can tell this story. Okay.
You can tell abbreviation.
Just abbreviate the Rhino the Man Beast.
Short as possible.
This is going to be the longest podcast we've ever done. Okay. This is a story, dude.
I love this shit, man.
Okay. So I'm on tour. This is like both. I don't even know if Shinedown was a band yet. I'm on tour with Saliva. I can't believe I'm telling this. We got to get Josie on here one day to talk about this
for
too.
sure.
So I'm on tour with Saliva, and we had in the middle of our tour, we had like 7 shows opening for ZZ Top. So it starts out in Louisville and it ended in Louisville. So their production manager, who to this day, you know what? I don't give a fuck. His name's Donnie. He's still there.
That band's still around?
He's still around. Yeah, dude. And so this was their production manager. So we like ZZ Top, we're in an arena, like the Showplace Arena in Louisville or whatever. Yeah. They took there's 3 guys in the band. Like, you know, we were only in like 2 buses and like a truck at this time. Saliva wasn't a huge band at this point.
Was this before Click Click Boom Boom?
This was after Click Click Boom.
Okay.
So we just took them because they were in arenas. So it was like, oh yeah, 7 shows opening for ZZ Top. This will be a lot of fun. We all love ZZ Top.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So they take up like 13 dressing rooms.
Perfect.
For like their crew and band or whatever. And then, listen, whatever. So we get one dressing room. It's like by the restrooms by the front door. You know, it's like on the opposite side of the arena. So Paul at the time, the drummer, was like recording like a solo record or something. And so every night after the show, when the band was back on the bus, he'd set up his Pro Tools in the dressing room and like record. Well, the production manager for ZZ Top comes into our dressing room while Paul's like recording something. I don't know what it was, acoustic guitar part or something. Takes a shit in our dressing room, not one of their 13 dressing rooms. Walks out and Paul's like, hey man, like Paul wasn't being a dick. He was like, hey, dude, like,
right.
You guys listen.
Etiquette.
You put us in a broom closet. You took up 13 dressing rooms. You got to come in here and shit. Like that's kind of fucked up, man. And the guy was like, your show's over, son. And then just like walked out of the room.
Damn.
So Paul started telling other people about it. Everybody, you know, look, Saliva boys are a bunch of big redneck boys. You know what I mean? So, so the more he talks about it, the more he gets upset about it. So as he's leaving, he runs into the dude again, and the dude's like a dick again. So finally, Paul goes, you know, he looks at me and he's like, call code red on these motherfuckers. Code red means it's going down. It's only had to be called one other time since I was there. So that night, funny enough, we haven't talked about the Jim Cornette video, but I actually think Jim Cornette might have been there because it was in Kentucky. and Rhino was there, and there was one other wrestler there, and I'm only not saying his name because I don't remember who it was. But Saliva was big. Saliva played WrestleMania. Like they were big in that world. They were Shinedown in WWE before Shinedown was WWE.
Sure. Yep.
So Paul goes on the bus and starts telling the rest of the guys about this. And it like Josie kind of like gets like pissed off. It's like when you almost get in a fight and you talk about it and you just get more riled up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Josie goes out and finds the guy, their crew, the band's been gone. ZZ Top's been gone, but all their crew's just kind of hanging out, doing what we all do after a show. So Josie goes up to the guy. He's like, hey man, like I think you owe my drummer an apology. And old boy was like, I don't know your drummer shit. And then spit on Josie's shoe. When I say this was a cartoon level fucking punch to the face.
Roadhouse.
I mean, he fucked this dude up. Well, I mean, one shot. Game. Call the game.
Yeah.
NFL
what I mean? Blitz.
Yeah, dude.
Over.
Call the game. Skunk rule. The game's over, bro. So then buses start clearing out. So I get on the radio and actually do have to call Code Red. All our bus clears out, which is a bunch of big redneck dudes, a bunch of big redneck techs. Dude, there's a barroom brawl. I mean, Anchorman, people flying everywhere. So Rhino gets off the bus, just hanging out. Rhino's trying
to hold on. For anybody who doesn't know, Rhino is called the man beast.
Yes.
Rhino is a fucking brick wall. The dude he's just mass. Like he's
not a small man.
He's fucking huge. Okay, go ahead.
So, so basically he comes out and is like, hey, trying to like kind of break it up. Like he's
the voice of reason.
Yeah. Because he's like under contract with WWE. That's bad press. He doesn't need that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So comes out and is like, hey, trying to like stop stuff. Trying to stop things from happening. There's a dude that one of our guys had hit on the ground. Rhino kind of stands over him, goes to pick him up. Well, the ZZ Top crew guy thinks that this is one of our guys trying to like, do whatever, continue the fight. Kicks Rhino in the nuts.
Oh,
dude, he picked this dude up like a wrestling buddy. Picked him up and threw him back, hits the semi truck, like slides down like the cartoon. Ridiculous. And then so one guy ended up hitting Josie. Wayne walks off the bus with like one of those tire thumpers, like a wooden mini Louisville Slugger, and just starts beating the shit out of people with a tire thumper. Dude, it was the longest fight I've ever seen. It was like 7 minutes long.
How was the show though? Decent show? Like big crowd?
The show went great.
Yeah, good.
So
I love those stories.
The dust settles. Everything over. They're not their tour manager. The tour manager is a guy named Paco. He was pretty cool. He's still their tour manager as well. But their accountant or somebody comes over to our tour manager, which is a dude named Big Nick. Again, everyone on our crew is big except for me.
You don't want to mess with somebody named Big anything.
So he comes over and he goes, it probably goes without saying you guys don't need to show up tomorrow. I was like, yeah, no shit, man.
Yeah, safe to say, bro.
Dude, it was like it was the craziest thing I've ever been a part of on tour, other than like the Eric when we got in a fight at that cancer benefit, which that'll save that for another day.
Yeah, perfect.
Can you imagine that though? A guy, you have a WWE wrestler trying to stop a fight, and the dude kicks you in the nuts, and you're like, you know what? Fuck this. And he just picks the dude up and throws him.
Rhino of all people.
That's a big dude, man.
He has no neck. He has zero neck.
And the sweetest dude. And I felt like he was there for like the right reasons to try to be like, all right, y'all cut this shit out. Like everybody kind of chill. It was crazy. It was insane.
So real quick, and I guess this could lead into our next segue. I mean, who do you have winning a fight, Charlie or this other production guy?
Oh, Charlie. Because Charlie's going to have Rocket right there.
Fuck yeah, Charlie.
And I'm not fighting Rocket.
That being said, I have a good. We have to cover some ground on some things.
Oh no,
I
we
took
gotta
a
let
poll.
John. We gotta let John go first.
John, you go first, and then we'll cover the polls.
Wait, so what are we calling this segment?
We're gonna call this John reads the mail. Or wait, should we call
John,
it that?
yeah.
Is it too easy because there's Paul reads the news?
Yeah. We gotta come up with a good name.
We got what should we should ask fans. What should we call this?
Life advice from John.
It's life advice. It's dream readings. It's
Yeah, but we're all
John
gonna
the
give
shaman.
life advice.
Yeah.
It's John the shaman though.
John the shaman. Now we got to wait for JR to make a song about this. Which will be
John
great.
the shaman.
Yeah. John reads the mail. John the shaman. All right, John. We set up an email address. We'll talk about it after this. John,
Yes.
read some mail.
John the shaman, keeping you on track. All you gotta do is touch his big old sack of mail.
Yeah, so I'm gonna leave out names and anything that could be criminal or anything because there's some weird stuff in here. I'm gonna go. This is a dream first, so us three have to determine what's going on in this person's head.
Okay.
Quote: I dreamt I was in a war-torn country and basically had to get myself out of it alive. Having never shot, it seemed quite astounding as I took my AK-47 and shot precise and accurate. People kept on coming and kept on shooting. The reason for urgency to get out, not that it seemed scary or necessary, was that I was running late for a test I never even studied for or attended for that class. Was so pissed off the Civil War was getting in my way. Any advice would be great. Okay, one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So when I read this, I literally just got done playing Call of Duty, so I know what that's like. I know what a war-torn country is like.
This is actually John's dream. He just sent it to himself in an email so we can help him.
No, so I was like,
Whoa.
what's crazy is that I think when people go to bed at night, at least when I dream, if I watch a movie or hear a song or something on my mind,
It carries over into your sleep.
right, subliminally, not that maybe that necessarily. So do you think this person maybe is in Miramar during the uprising right now who might have had to take a test? Like, we don't know if this person.
Go ahead, Zach. I feel like Zach, you take it away first. What do you think this dream means?
An AK-47 is very specific.
I think that maybe the person has anger issues. It feels like they felt people kept coming. That's a little scary.
Well,
You're the guy who has weird dreams, man.
But what's weird though, with the COVID shutdown going on right now, the schools and issues, stay at home and all this stuff, maybe this person has a kid and she is so enraged that her kid can't hang out with their friends at school. They have to be at home. That's why it's kind of blowing up in her mind or his mind, or I don't know who said this.
That's probably the most logical thing you've ever said, John.
I agree.
Think about that.
A lot's going
That's
on.
insane.
But an AK-47 is very specific, and it makes me a little worried.
Well, maybe this person doesn't know difference between. Maybe that's just the most
that's
common
a big gun that they know.
AR gun that they know.
Right. Yeah.
Right. It's
But-
not common.
Regardless, I mean, who
Well,
likes to take tests
to be
anyways?
serious for a second though, with that school thing, how are you guys as parents? I mean, obviously, Zach, your kids are younger, but how would you guys parent if they were older right now? Like, how would you tell your kids that, hey, you can't hang out with your friends?
So I have a
His
daughter
kid
who's
is older.
yeah, my
Right,
kid,
right.
my
So his
daughter's
kid's
my
out
daughter's
there
8. So
Trading
my daughter's
cigarettes
8
right now. Yeah.
100%. My daughter packs a Glock 43, so she knows how to carry it. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll be right
I'm
back.
about to get CPS. What? He's like, I'm out. No. Oh, God damn it, John. He's like, I'll be right back.
I love that you're going to start talking. He's like, I'll be right back.
Hey,
man
what do you
just
think about
leaves.
this? I'm out later.
No, I unplugged the thing. I could hear it.
Okay. So, they do. It's so insane. This on a serious note, it's so crazy that they have to do these drills, right? I think
The
this really
drills where
started
they're
taking.
just telling the other kids in class what to do, and the killer's probably in the class.
No. So it's. I mean, yeah, that's
They're
fucked
just-
up. But
they're just training the killer.
no. But so I think it all started happening when Columbine took place, but now it's a whole drill that they do. Hey, if we get a lockdown, the teacher has to go lock the door. Everybody has to get in one corner of the room, move the desk as fast as possible. So it's crazy to think about, I always tell my daughter, I said, hey, you make sure you listen very carefully. Those are very serious, even though they're just a drill. You need to take these very seriously. So, I don't take it lightly, because if something ever happened to my daughter, I would go full AWOL.
As you should.
So, but anyways, Zach, I mean, how would you handle that situation?
My kids aren't going to go to school. So,
okay.
Now, is that because obviously you have a wife, Bethany, that obviously knows what she's doing, but is there a fear on your part because you don't want them to get caught up in this bullshit, or if something does bad happen?
Listen, I think that there's good and there's bad in the world. I think that I refuse to be one of those. I used to be one of those people, I think, who just worried about things that didn't happen yet. Right. And I think it kind of ruled my life for a little bit. So no, that's not the reason. My wife was homeschooled pretty much her whole life until high school. I was homeschooled after starting at high school, basically, because I was on tour. It just seems, listen, we were both homeschooled too when the internet wasn't a thing. It's like, to me, man, like, if you want to homeschool and you have a parent who is a stay-at-home parent, which my wife is, it's really all the information is, dude, imagine being a kid now. Imagine being in like 7th grade now, when you got to look through an entire book, read it to figure out answers to these questions, when I can literally be like, I'll tell you when the Spanish Armada started.
Let me ask you a question. With you saying your kids are going to be homeschooled, do you think that creates any conflict as far as like being social for your kids?
No, they have so many friends. So, and they hang out with them all the time. So,
and all the friends' names are Ollie. There's like 17
Avery.
Ollies,
17 Olivers, and there's a Chris and a Jerry, and that's really it.
And they're all dating Bethany.
So there's a school about 2 miles from us called Briarcrest. It's actually kind of where The Blind Side was. They didn't film it there, but that's where Michael Orr went to school. If they do, we decided about 8th grade. So around 8th grade, if they want to go to school, that's probably the school they will attend. But no other reason other than I kind of want my kids to be homeschooled. There's no like fear of like going to, there's a couple really good schools in Memphis that are public, some really great private schools. So I
found it's crazy how people, at least when I was younger, like say when we were all like 14 or 15, and then it was so frowned upon, like, oh, that kid was homeschooled, or like even in college, we're like, why is that guy? Oh, he was homeschooled. Like, oh, okay, now we know why he's a freak. But now it's just like, but no, what I'm saying is now it's just like there's nothing wrong with homeschooling your kids. Like,
it's so easy to do now.
Yeah. Right, 100%.
Imagine
100%.
like in the early 90s, dude, or even before that, when you had to like go get curriculum books and you had to read them. You had to do all these things. Dude, now the internet exists. I talk about that all the time. Like, man, like middle school kids, dude, like taking tests, everyone has an iPhone. I can look up any answer I need, dude. That's what's crazy about it.
Will you make your kids use old paper grocery bags to put covers on their books?
100%.
I remember that.
Because you could draw them, dude.
Damn, I haven't heard that in a minute.
You guys want to know a fun fact about me? One time, remember when skins came out for books and you didn't have to wrap them? Because I still can't wrap a present as a 37-year-old adult male. Shut up, Paul.
I'm one of the best rappers I know.
I see your dumb reaction face you have. So, you know what, John? I actually believe that about you. I bet you're like an ace at wrapping presents.
Like I know what tape I need.
I bet you're the guy that's like, yo, bring your presents to me.
100%.
Like you wrap other people's presents.
I will wrap my own.
Okay, so remember when skins came out? There was like a little like you could like put it around your book.
Yep.
And remember the pictures where you had to like stare and it was like an image and you had to look at it for a long time and it's a schooner, you dumb bastard, from Mallrats. Yeah. Here's another fun fact about me. I've never been able to see one of the pictures that's in those things. But
Me either.
I had the skins on my book, and like literally, I remember one day this kid named Grant was like, "He's like, oh, badass, that's an elephant," and I felt like the dude in Mallrats, where I was like, "You know what? The Easter Bunny's not even real." When he starts yelling, like I wanted to like scream at this kid because like I had the skins on my book, and I'd be like, "Yeah, I know it's there," and I couldn't see. I've never been able to see one of those things, dude. I've never. And the kid was like, this kid Grant was like, "Oh, it's a dude riding an elephant." I'm like, "Yeah, it is a dude riding an elephant." I have no fucking idea. Couldn't see it at all.
I'm the same way. I can't see him.
I can't see him.
Hilarious. I loved all those books where it's like use your illusion books. Where it's
Yeah.
like cross your eyes
Yeah.
to see your shit. Yeah.
It's just
So-
a picture of Axl Rose. Use your illusion books.
I love our segues. We go from talking
All right,
about
here we
a
go. I got
dream
something
to
else.
skins.
Oh, he's got one more. John's got one
No,
more. This is gonna be the
two
longest episode.
He's got
ever.
a couple. Let's hear him.
Yeah. Okay. This is life advice, not a dream.
Okay.
I like the life advice one's better because I feel like I'm better at that.
You're probably not gonna like this one. I'm asking for a friend. ...
This is my wife.
This is John or your wife.
My wife sent this email.
How does one get rid of their husband?
My wife 100% sent this email.
without killing him or having to serve him divorce papers. Actually, a better question: how does one get their spouse to leave them? Thank you.
Do you want to
So-
just ask your wife to come in here real quick?
Do we want
Hey,
to be
babe.
complicit in murder?
No, we can't implicit murder because here's the thing. I don't know if you know this. Me and my wife watch every episode of Dateline, so she would never ask that because my wife knows
Well,
how
hold
to
on.
murder
This
me.
might be your wife. Her email is BethanyLovesTrapped@hotmail.com. Yeah, that's her.
My wife actually does have a Hotmail address.
See their baby 69.
Either baby 69. Breaking Bin fan 007.
Okay, so go ahead, Zach.
Okay, well, you can't kill him because, and listen, I've seen every episode of Dateline. It's very, very hard to get away with it. Very hard to
Darn.
get away
Eat
with it.
him. Unless you eat him.
Bro, you can do that antifreeze. You can put the little bit of antifreeze in the soup. You can do that, but I don't recommend. Listen, I'm not telling anybody to kill nobody.
You're not condoning murder.
Condoling.
Yeah.
I'm not Bob Doling anything. I'm just.
Yeah, Bob
I don't. You can listen. There's tons of ways you can get somebody to leave you. Every relationship I've ever been in pre-wife was that.
I'm gonna stick with the old the timeless classic of, hey, I'm not happy. We should probably not be together. I don't know. That's just my thought.
Is
Communication.
this a girl or a guy?
Based
Questionable.
on the email, I hope it's a girl.
Okay.
See, their baby 69 could be either or.
I mean, listen. If you guys aren't swingers, you could easily just put someone else's wank in your mouth. That usually
Guy
gets
or
rid of-
girl.
Guy or girl.
But
They-
I think what's interesting is that assuming it's a girl, the guy, the ex, calling her so much is obviously he missed her. But the problem here is that he didn't put that effort in when they were together. So now it's playing catch up. I can see why she's very kind of like,
Wait, there's somebody else?
There's an ex? What are you talking about? You didn't tell us that part.
Yeah.
yeah.
You didn't mention
No,
that
you
part.
just said,
Yeah.
hey, how do you get rid of somebody that you're with?
You didn't tell us that part. Keep
Look
going.
at it. He's got his notes all over the place.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the ex, the husband. This person's trying to get rid of their husband.
Yeah,
the
but they're
ex.
still together.
Well, I've looked into this a little bit different.
John has already gotten rid of the husband in his head. John's
Yeah,
like,
I've already-
the ex? Yeah, he's already gone.
Yeah, the ex is already dating a tree branch right now.
I think, yeah, like Paul said, you just be like, yo, I'm unhappy. Without serving divorce papers. Listen, or you can easily get somebody to leave you. That's not hard to do. Unless they're like a swinger and into weird shit, but like come home and you and the plumber are getting some other pipes cleaned out.
Hit us up for orgy advice. Like we'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah, we will cater your orgy from the music down to the appetizers.
Down
and
to the
merch.
cheese sticks.
Down to the merch.
Down to the merch, dude.
I'll be doing potato skins. Zach will be playing Kenny G on guitar bass.
Like, hey, what thong do you want to wear tonight?
Paul over here is going to be ordering some edible Slim Jim dildos that are customized based on Zach. We got the whole thing. We're coming to your orgy. We're bringing the orgy to town. This is a three ring sex circus. that we're gonna plan for you.
Did you really just say edible Slim Jim dildos?
First off, regular Slim Jims aren't even edible. So the fact that you're making them edible is the best part.
Edible Slim Jim dildos.
Yeah, snap into a Slim Jim. Speaking of which,
moving on.
No, like
no.
to talk about like go back to like the fetish stuff. When people use food, like do you think people are like, oh man, this pretzel rod could, or like this.
By the way, you brought up fetishes earlier. I don't ever remember us talking about fetishes on a previous episode.
Maybe it was a dream I had.
Oh my God.
He said it earlier. If you when you're watching this back, watch what the first time you say we were talking about fetishes, and me and Paul are like, what?
Yeah, I think that was you just walking through the produce aisle and you were thinking fetishes.
Yeah,
life.
maybe.
That's just you talking about your own life. Yeah. Is that
you
it?
Talk
Is that
about
all you got today?
I got one more dream here, but I think it ties into the COVID thing too and the band fan type of whatever. So here we go. Hey guys, since about 5 months ago, I've been having dreams about various bands, usually about one band member, not the rest of the band. In every dream, we are in a casual, relaxed, normal setting. Just talking like we know each other. No stress, no pretension of artist and fan. Not exactly friends, but just comfortable in each other's space. Maybe it's being cooped up for so long and missing live shows. Maybe it's all the live streams everyone is doing, and we're getting to know them as people rather than just the rock stars they are. Ha ha ha. At any rate, when I asked my followers if anyone else is having those type of dreams, it was overwhelmingly yes. So my question to you, Zach, first, do you understand where fans are coming from, where the last year or so they've been so cooped up that they're having these type of whatever with missing out on the live show?
Yeah, I can see that. You know, I've had a couple gig dreams. Okay, that's horrifying. I've had a couple gig dreams where I've dreamt of being on stage, never about any meet and greets or anything like that. Hopefully I don't have those for a couple of years. We'll see. Yeah, I've had a couple gig dreams, but no, never like, you know, I have dreams about people I know, and most of the time they have like a weird, job. Like I've had friends who they were like a realtor or whatever, you know. Dentist. I had a dream. I had a dream the night before I did Chris Porter's podcast. I had a dream that his sister Andy was trying to sell me a bounce house.
Yeah, so your dreams are just as messed up, dude.
That's not messed up.
Yeah, but what does that mean, though?
What the fuck? What is happening here?
That's not bad. Well, I'm not having his dreams.
The dreams you guys have are just so
That's what I'm saying. Like here's the thing, Zach.
A friend of mine's sister trying to sell me a bounce house versus walking through a produce aisle, which he doesn't even know why vegetables and fruits are mixed.
I think you're having a premonition. I think a couple weeks from now, his sister is going to offer you a bounce house. My dreams are based in like frightening corners of the netherworld of fantasy and bullshit. Yours are so weird because they can actually happen. That's what's creeping me out.
Yeah, that's weird that somebody could sell you a bounce house, but all the crazy shit you talk about is not weird at all.
I'm glad you agree with me, Paul.
That's what that's kind of like is how I talk about like he always loves like all the other serial killers, and I go, well, all the other serial killers don't scare me because they're not real. Michael Myers is real, and that's scary. He's like, oh, my dreams are so far out of whack that's not even a possibility. Your dream is actually real, and that's weird that our friend's sister wants to sell you a bounce house.
Yeah, but have you?
It's not weird though. Here's why. I knew I was I had hung out with Andy, Chris's sister, and Chris on Friday night. On Saturday, I had talked to my wife about renting a bounce house for Oliver's birthday.
Oh, so we didn't know this stuff. That's what I was getting to.
And then there you go.
Was your wife mad that you were in a bounce house with another woman?
I wasn't in the bounce house. It was like I was in an office, and she just tried to sell me a bounce house.
I actually broke my nose in a bounce house when I was 17 years old.
You broke your nose?
How do you do that?
I was in there with a bunch of uncles and cousins, and we were just messing around. Obviously, when the kids went to bed, and I broke my nose. Blood everywhere.
In a bounce house?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like this was like the adults, like keep your shoes on. Like they've been drinking. Like there's no socks. There's no guy dressed as a honey badger from Redwall telling kids, 3 at a time. Like we were in there
Did that happen in real life? Did you have some guy dressed as a honey badger when you were a kid trying to let you in a bounce house?
Yeah, I went to a party when I was like 14 or 15.
John,
It was like
an insane.
it was like a costume like thing where it's like clowns and shit. But whoever the adult was dressed as like this weird, like, I don't know, like Peter Cottontail weird Redwall thing.
That's a no for me.
There's like only 5 kids at a time. Like that annoying person that's always keeping track of making sure kids aren't breaking necks.
Are you done reading your crazy emails?
Yeah, I'm good. Those are the 3 best I got.
Paul, read the news.
Oh my God. I don't know how to top any of that.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. No, we got to mention. So, if you have life advice, if you need life advice, if you want John the Shaman to dig into your dreams and make you realize you are actually way more normal than you think you are, email us at suplifeadvice@gmail.com. That is suplifeadvice@gmail.com. We'll put it right down here. And Paul, it's time. What is going on in the world today?
Paul reads the news. Paul reads the news.
Yeah.
Let's cover the most important thing first. All respect out to DMX right now.
Shout out to DMX. Our prayers go out to DMX.
So pissed.
So for anybody who doesn't know, DMX had an overdose on Friday night, gave him a heart attack, and he is...
And John's going to go cry about it. I'm not really sure what's happening.
And he is, he's essentially, he was a vegetable. I think everybody's hopes are very high.
On his own.
Breathing on his own. Everybody has hopes, but he's not looking good.
Dude, you realize if he pulls through this, the album he was doing, dude, he has Bono coming on his album.
That's
Bono.
real?
Yes. Like
Listen,
the stuff
I think at what episode 1 or 2 we talked about DMX.
Dude, I talk about DMX every day.
We've talked about me meeting the Rough Riders.
That's what I mean. Like that was episode 1 or 2. Like we all love DMX. We're sending our prayers and thoughts to DMX and his family. That's a really big bummer because he's one of my favorite rappers of all time. I grew up in that era of, that's right about the time that I started getting into hip hop, early 90s. So I was probably like 10.
He made hip hop cool if you were only into rock. Like he blended him and Eminem blended.
He was so raw, man.
Yeah, you know why though? Because it had, most hip hop was really cool and it had good rhymes and had good beats. No one was ever no one was angry.
Who barks? Who barks? Yeah.
DMX does, and hopefully he barks again. So shout out to DMX. We are thinking about you. We're praying for you, and we hope you get better. And
yes.
that's a shitty thing. Listen, man, addictions. We know what it is, man. I've been in a band with a drug addict my whole life, and he's, been great for the last couple years. And when he falls off the wagon, we pick him up, and it sucks, but it's that piece of the brain that I don't have in me. I've never been addicted to anything. I don't understand that. I know, Paul, you're the same way. John, you're the same way. So I don't understand it, man. But obviously, it's got its hooks in him again. And I know he went to rehab late 2019. Yeah. And we're thinking about him, man. DMX is he's a good dude. Like I said, he was one of those positive guys too, man.
Iconic, man. I can't even imagine.
When you see videos of him like out on the street, just like preaching to people and like being cool and like telling other people to get their life together when inside you don't even have your life together, man. Yeah. That's cool, man. Like to be that guy where you don't have it together, but you still have the wherewithal to like bring other people up.
Put out the positivity for
that's
sure.
That's cool. Shout out to DMX.
So, oh man, this one was good. Did you? I'm sure you guys have seen this. The Kevin Durant, Michael Rappaport stuff.
Oh my God, I love it,
dude. Okay. I thought it was all like between two friends.
No.
Like apparently it so Michael Rappaport posted, for anybody who doesn't know, posted a bunch of DMs between him and Kevin Durant. Durant saying a lot of very not nice things to Michael Rappaport. So, dude, and then Kevin Durant got fined.
Yeah.
For saying private things to Michael Rappaport, which I think is fucked up. So.
That's bullshit. Here's the thing. I think it's bullshit on the NBA is not nearly as whack as the NFL.
Sure.
As far as like who runs it, like I think Adam Silver's like a good GM. I think Roger Goodell's a fucking clown. He's been a clown his whole life. This all started, by the way, from Dave Portnoy. Our friend Dave Portnoy at Barstool Sports posted a deposition where Michael Rappaport, basically, you know, the king of shit talk, and goes on and talks about the former president and talks about all these people and just kind of overcompensates with anything he does. You know what I mean? It's like he just like rattles off the dumbest shit. And I like Michael Rappaport as an actor personally. First time I ever saw him in anything was in Next Friday. I thought he was really good as a UPS guy. But so Portnoy posted the video of the deposition. It was basically Rappaport suing him for defamation, for talking shit. Yeah. The king, the self-proclaimed king of talking shit
talk,
is being such a bitch that he sues somebody else for talking shit about him. And so Portnoy released the deposition, which I thought was hilarious because he just like completely one up this lawyer. And then I guess Durant slid into Rappaport's DMs or something, and they started going back and forth. You know what Michael Rappaport is? Michael Rappaport is that dude who had older brothers, right? And then when he would start a bunch of shit and try to fight, and then when the other person wanted to fight, he would hide behind his little brother, his older brothers, and be like, "Come on, motherfucker! Come on, dude! Come on, dude." But he had two big dudes in front of him. That's all he is. Because when Kevin Durant was like, "Yo, here's the thing, man. People don't like it when you get real on social media, when they realize it's not a game anymore and it's just not just this shit." When Kevin Durant was like, "Meet me here."
How about the fact that Durant's arguably the best player in the world at basketball, and he texts like someone that's never texted
talk
before.
Text. That's talk text for sure, dude.
So good. So good.
Dude, I didn't even understand what any of it said.
I didn't either. Like
I was like, what is happening?
Halfway through that text combo they had, I thought Durant was agreeing with Rappaport. Then I'm like, dude, what's going on right now?
Dude, it was so whack, dude. He was like, you could tell he was like, "Yeah, motherfucker, I'm gonna come on whoop your ass." Like, he's like, "Siri, tell him this right here." Dude, like, what is happening? But I agree. You shouldn't be fined for that. If he did it on a public post, like on a comment,
agreed.
You represent the NBA. I understand that.
He wasn't on the Nets.
He was in a
Instagram
private DM.
Right.
He was in a private DM doing it himself. There should be no fine for that. And they should have to meet at Rough and Rowdy when John fights Marty Jannetty.
Side note, Michael Rappaport being killed by a shark in Deep Blue Sea is one of my favorite movie scenes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
True story.
This is very very new. Did you guys see The Weeknd donated $1 million for 2 million meals to help Ethiopians?
Love it.
Shout out to The Weeknd. I've always liked The Weeknd though. So.
Hell yeah. Like just to help with everything going on over there.
Now,
he's Ethiopian,
cynical,
so he wanted, oh God, go ahead.
Well, no, just to play devil's advocate, but a good devil's advocate. How about you feed the homeless and the veterans in your own country?
I don't disagree.
But here's the thing though. Like I'm not. If you want to help people, and I do help as many people as you can. But there's always that part of me where it's like, dude, there's people in your neighborhood right now living on the streets, especially after the last year.
I agree, man. But I'm also like
help people. Like why are we bitching?
Help
people
anybody?
Just help. Yeah.
I think John's just being a curmudgeon.
No, I said, dude, if you want to help people, go ahead. But man, I don't know. Maybe he has ties to Ethiopia. Maybe, listen.
Well, he is Ethiopian, like nationality. So
here's the truth though, too, to kind of touch on what you said, John. And we're not ever trying to get political on here or disagree on purpose, but, there's way more of a lack of food in Ethiopia than there is in America.
Oh, 100%.
In America,
lack of jobs over there. Lack of everything.
In America, it's a not giving people food. It's a not giving people food problem. In Ethiopia, there's not enough food to give problem. You know what I mean? Right. So like, I get it. Like in America, it's in America, bro. It's about greed. That's the only reason people aren't trying to feed the homeless is they're greedy. That's where I stand with it. Trust me, dude, there's enough food waste in this country to go around that, we could feed
multiple
everybody
times.
What's crazy,
times, dude.
When you guys carry the catering and stuff or the touring, it's like I asked them the one time, it's like when you have these excess food left over, they're like legally based on whatever, you can't even give away extra food from catering to homeless shelters.
You can't give away cooked food.
Right, but you literally have food where it's like this could go to a shelter right here. They want to do it, but they can't.
Shelters won't take it, which is also kind of weird because, like, I understand because, like, what if you would have poisoned it? What if you got like a vendetta against homeless people? Whatever. Like, so what John's talking about is most of our chefs and our catering companies on tour. At the end of the night, there's tons of food, and we'll let truck drivers, local stagehands go grab it. And John would be like, "Why can't we give this to like a homeless shelter, a veteran shelter?" Most shelters won't take that because the food's already prepared. You can give them raw food all day long,
right,
but they won't let you.
And stuff.
Yeah, they won't let you like give them cooked food because you could have poisoned it. You could have done, a myriad of things with it. So that's why. But I shout out to the Weeknd. I think that's cool that he did that, even though John apparently is very upset at it.
I know. Hold on. I said, if you want, I'm all for helping people. I just had to play devil's advocate so we can have a healthy conversation.
All right,
now,
that's our first disagreement on the podcast.
But here's the thing, though. After what he did to the Super Bowl halftime show, he should be paying a lot more people in the United States to support the NFL because they lost a lot of fans at halftime.
On the lighter side of things, real quick, as somebody that could donate a lot of money that absolutely needs to and should not be rich.
Danzig?
No. God, leave Danzig alone. Have you guys seen that idiot Bad Baby or whatever the hell her name is?
Bad Bunny.
Bad Barbie.
Bad Barbie. I don't even keep up with this.
The Dr. Phil girl. Catch me outside.
Catch me outside.
So this idiot turns 18 and all these fucking pervs all of a sudden are just like, I need to see what this girl looks like naked. She creates an OnlyFans.
And how old was she?
She was 7. I mean, when she was on the show, she would have been 15 or 16.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So she becomes of age, makes an OnlyFans. Within 6 hours, makes over $1 million. Like, fuck, though. That girl sucks.
Make your money, though.
That girl sucks, though, man.
Hey, Paul,
she's on my record label, so I can't really talk. I can't really.
Is she really?
I think she is. Yeah.
Dude.
She's on Atlantic. She's doing a cover of
so is
What a
Cardi
Shame.
B, so I
Time to start shopping around that demo, huh?
No, man. Like listen, man. Like I think if you own a business, you're trying to figure out a way to make money these days with streaming
what
and all
business
that.
does she have doing anything?
Should we do
that I agree with you with. I think
let's do a sup OnlyFans.
Now, hold on. Okay, yes, we should.
We should do an OnlyFans.
What are we gonna
nude, except for John?
What are we gonna?
Yeah,
John will get naked. So my thing is, God damn it, this person got famous. I don't even want to. She's not even a person, in my opinion. She got famous off of being
not even a person.
She's not even a fucking person.
Skid vessel.
She's just a piece of shit. So this piece of shit got famous off of disrespecting her mom, essentially.
Is that real though? Dude, those shows are so set up, man. I have a buddy named Tony West who did Jerry Springer 6 times.
Hell yeah.
How many kids does he have?
What? None.
How many kids does he have?
None, but it's like he put them all the episodes together one time.
That's Maury.
That shit's so man, I don't even know how real that was.
But you can tell she's just a disrespectful human.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, she's a young kid in this day and age, and 70% of them are garbage people. So
fuck them.
That's what I have for the news. That was all the pressing news.
Didn't one of the Haddads started a OnlyFans too, right?
I can't see your face. What am I looking at right now?
The sun's out, dude. It's like real. I didn't think this out.
I'm like, what? I'm just looking at a hat.
Sorry. One of the Haddads did that, like Gigi or Bella Haddad. Didn't they start like an OnlyFans for like one day and there was like no nudes on it and everybody just got like hoodwinked?
Yeah, Bella Hadid, wasn't it?
I love that, dude. I love that somebody started OnlyFans, posted no nudes, and made $1 million. And was like, peace out.
So what do we put if we make an OnlyFans? What the hell are we going to put?
I think good game for Paul would be: is this a butthole? It's either Paul's butthole or like the bottom of a pumpkin. We have to guess.
Why is it my butthole?
Because I think it'd be funny.
You definitely have the cleanest butthole of the three of us, dude, for sure.
So, and then we just play, what is this?
Mine
Sasquatch?
looks like a mud pit right now.
Is this Bigfoot or is this John? Like,
yeah, dude. Burt Reynolds or John. Yeah, you don't show the head. You just show a neck down shot.
It's the only OnlyFans that's a scratch and sniff.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be great though. Yo, I gotta tell you a story. We're talking about buttholes. I was
Okay.
I was
do you have any
back in high
memories,
school.
Paul?
No.
So
Since we're talking about buttholes.
no, I was listening. This is the last thing we can talk about, and then we can go. I was listening to I love podcasts, you know, but I only ever really been into a couple of them. Like I love Theo's, I love Porter and his sisters. Who else? I love Jericho's. But I really got into the Mark Maron podcast, which is kind of like the dude that kind of started the whole podcast deal, like one of the first ever, you know. And they're so good and so intimate. And he's such a great interview. And I listened to one with Brad Williams. He had Brad Williams on one day, and I listened to that. You know, he's had like Obama on. Like it's amazing. He's
a great storyteller. He's
so good, and he's so natural at asking questions, especially since he's a stand-up comedian. He's not an interview guy. So I was listening to it in the car, and like what I would normally do is if like after the studio, I would run and get food quick, and usually just eat it in the car so I could go back and then work out again and like just kind of chill in the room. So I didn't want my food to get cold, like by bringing it up to the room and all. So I was sitting in my car one night eating, and there was an interview with him and Nicole Kidman. It was really good. I recommend it. It's really good. And they were talking, and I was in my car and I was eating. I think I was eating like Chick-fil-A or Wendy's or something. And they were talking about something, and I farted, and it was, the interview was so intimate that I thought they heard me. Cause like they stopped talking. Like as soon as I farted, they like stopped talking. And like I had this like 2 seconds of like personal freak out. I was like, oh shit. Like where I was like I was in the room with these people while they were doing an interview. They heard me fart, and I just interrupted their interview.
It was recorded 3 years ago, but Mark Maron's like, what the fuck's that smell?
Dude, it was so real. Like I laughed at myself because I was like, what just happened? Like I farted, they stopped talking. I was like, and they just keep the conversation going. And I was like, dude, for a second, like I thought they heard me fart. Like I was in this like alternate universe where like the radio can hear you.
Zach Myers, ladies and gentlemen.
Here I am, ladies and gentlemen, here for you every week. Anyway, if you have questions, if you have anything, email suplifeadvice@gmail.com. Paul, what's that email address?
I don't know. What is it?
He doesn't even know. It's suplifeadvice@gmail.com. Email that. Also,
hey, it's suplifeadvice@gmail.com.
Also,
Catch me outside.
Catch me outside for the life advice.
Stop.
Also,
fuck.
We released a pick pack.
Let's talk about these picks.
I don't know if it's still going to be around by the time this episode airs. I think there's only like 100 left. We did a 5 pick pack. Normally I do 4 pick packs. There's one of John with the Airbud logo. There's one of Paul with the Seinfeld logo. There's one of me with the Prince logo. And then there's a seemingly unknown. Then there's a Rickroll pick, which I think is one of the best things we've ever done. So they're available. If you go to, we'll put a link somewhere. We'll put a link in the YouTube if you want them, if they're still available by the time this airs. And yeah, it's a cool pick pack. You can get it. Help support the podcast by doing that. We will, I promise, by the next 2 episodes, we'll have the Patreon up, and we'll figure out a way.
We're gonna have a Shopify up.
We're gonna have a Shopify up that will have
this week.
a bunch of cool merch and things like that you can get.
Paul's got those pogs coming. He showed us last night a little bit on the Instagram live.
Paul has pogs coming. We're very excited about that. Get your 90s on with the seemingly unknown crew and your pogs. And also for
edible fleshlights. Edible fleshlights,
edible
yes.
Slim Jim dildos.
As always, thank you guys for listening, and we will see you on the next one. Today is Easter, so happy Easter. Late. You'll hear this late, but we hope you had a happy Easter. Check out the pics. We'll put a link down here, or it's on my Facebook. suplifeadvice@gmail.com. Any questions, concerns, hate mail, mail that you love us. Once again, shout out to JR Moore for producing the podcast, and John Guarnieri, Polly Tamale, and myself. We will see you next week.